I'm like, I'm over that.
Hello.
Sorry, I know I.
Good. Are you ready? Can we roll?
Do I need to know?
Okay, it's 6:02. We'll go ahead and call the. I need a little.
Hold up your fingers or hand or something.
At 6:02, we'll go ahead and call to order the May 20th meeting of the Weld RE-5J Board of Education to order. I heard a unique one. Please extinguish your cell phones.
Oh.
Rise and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Ugana, could you please call roll?
Here.
Here. Here. Amy Musgrave will arrive soon. Michael Weld.
Here.
Hayden Chambers. Here. Lee Rack will be arriving soon. Annabelle Rusk here.
Do you have any changes to this evening? No. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
A motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. Motion by Director Proctor, second by Vice President Sassano to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Do we have any citizen comments on agenda items?
I said shuffle through the crowd.
Thank you. All right. Well, I apologize for the quarters, but we're all here for primarily for the celebrations and recognitions. We will be hopefully at a committee moving into a larger space on the other side of the building to be able to handle these events. But, Superintendent Nielsen, I'm going to kick it over to you. Mr. Ugana, would you please let the record show that Director Musgrave is here?
Thanks, President Wales and board members and Director Musgrave. I'm excited to see you in your Lions shirt. Go Habs as they kick off and drop the puck around. So hopefully they'll do well tonight. As President Wales just said, we got a packed house because we got to celebrate the 5J. And tonight's one of those special nights where we get to celebrate teachers who have given service to the district, so we'll be doing that a little bit. It's also the first time that we will get to celebrate 2 outgoing student board members. So our pioneers, our 2 first student board members will go off the board tonight. That is pretty exciting, and we're excited to see what both of you do as you move on, and we'll move to that in just a minute. We've got the 7th grade girls basketball team here we want to celebrate and honor. Before we do that, we missed our meeting, we missed celebration 2 weeks ago, ironically because of snow in May. One of the things we were going to honor that night, and it didn't work out to have them all here tonight, but I think it's important, and partly I think it's important to call this out, because Mr. Balderson's in the room tonight, and I think it's been nice to have him here a couple of times, but I've been in this district now 3 years, and watching what's going on with our music program and the growth and the excitement around music and drama and performing arts in our community is awesome. I have said here this board before, there are lots of things you need in a thriving community, in a thriving high school. You must have extracurricular activities, co-curricular athletics, and you must have a thriving performing arts program. Those two things drive a high school. And so it's really exciting to see the path, John, that you've been on, what's going on, and that's all the way through, being at the elementary level too. The energy of the district and our performing arts is exciting. And so I just wanted to call that out tonight. We talked as board members about doing different kind of recognition on our performing arts as we walk through next year. But we felt like it made sense tonight to say, even before we thank you, John, for your service, to call the larger community of our performing arts for the work that you've been doing. So let's give our performing arts. With that, I'd like to call up Coach Gotzi. Come on up.
There's Scott.
And we have Ryan, who was our leading scorer of the season. She's going to say a word. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hello, my name is Ryan. And I first want to say thank you for having us here tonight. And how grateful I am to be here with my team. We had an amazing basketball season this year, finishing with 11 wins and only 1 loss against Eaton down in the season. The give back was real when we beat them in the championship. It was a total team effort, and thanks to our coaches for believing us and pushing us to fullest potential. It felt good to know that all the hard work that we put in and paid off, and most importantly, we all spent time in the game. I can't wait to begin next year with these girls.
Could we have each of our players introduce yourselves and what elementary school you went to?
Okay, my name is Connor, and I went to Pioneer Elementary. My name is Destiny Cratch, and I went to Northern Elementary. My name is Brooklyn Marabola, and I went to Pioneer.
My name is Avery Canner Gods, and I went to LO and MES.
My name is Ryan Coleman, and I went to MES.
My name is Ashley Scherzer, and I went to LO, Rage, and nothing.
My name is Riley Alcott, I went to Westford and Pioneer.
My name is Serena Garza, I went to Pioneer and LO. Alex Fred, and I went to MES.
All right, because we're excited to see you as 8th graders. Hope you have a summer where I'm imagining continuing to play with that of the basketball. Hopefully you're involved in other things too, and if it's what summer holds, we hope that's well for you as well. But we're looking to watching this team as 8th grade Mustangs and then moving up to Roosevelt, the Rough Rider. So can we shake hands? And the board has a coin for you as well on the back side. So let's over there. Let's work our way, wrap ourselves around.
Thank you.
Congrats, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Good
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Great team.
Before you all leave, before you all some players, can we put that line up right in front of the board with a photo of everybody?
Yeah, so
I'm going to stick with the 2 people that are taller.
okay, we might need to do another roll.
Ladies are going to have to bend your.
Okay, who are the point guards? Let's see that.
Sure, stand up.
Yeah.
Ladies, you're gonna have to bend down just a little bit.
No, on the
Yes, I know. It's, we'll get there. They'll learn.
In their smiles, lots of pictures.
We'll look like we're freaking in the background. They'll probably be like, who's that? Who's that random?
Sorry.
Thank you. I can give you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Famous autographs will be inside. So move on. All right. As we move on, the end of, or I guess the back half of my first year in the district, this board wrestled with adding a couple student board members to our board. And we went back and forth. We met with some student board members in another district. They, I think, had a profound impact on all of us around student voice. And our district decided at point to move forward with, and we had a couple of applicants, and we decided as a board, the board decided to bring them both on that first half a year. And so they both have served a year and a half, and with that, I'd love to turn it over to President of the board to.
Sure. So yeah, as we've too many times when we first went down this road, and I say we, it wasn't the collective group here. It was Scott and I who originally had birthed this idea after seeing it in place in a couple other spots, and I think we were both super excited to be able to bring it to the district. And my fellow board members weren't as excited as the rest were, and it wasn't because of anything other than. It had nothing to do with ability or capability of the students, but it was more availability of the students. That was the biggest concern, was that if we brought student board members in, how much effect would that have on their studies, their ability to their extracurricular activities? This be too much of a burden for them, give the job the fair attention. Oddly enough, we picked the two busiest schools in the school district. As I was telling Vice President Sassano, as I was kind of going through this thought process in my mind, my phone buzzed at me, and I looked, and there was a text message from Annabelle who said she's got to roll out of here early tonight so she can go take her state exams. And I thought, of course, that's exactly right. But it has been a lot of fun, and this is for us right now. I think we're still in the experimental phase. You guys have given us so much, though, and I know we've missed some steps along the way with this. If we continue to get better and hear that voice, Hayden, especially for you and Liam for taking the charge and coming to CASB. Annabelle was busy doing a much larger project, but Hayden and Liam, they came to the Colorado Association of School Boards conference and spoke to a packed room about a bunch of schools who were interested in doing the same thing. In fact, I just forwarded you an email today. They're looking for sessions for this coming winter. I thought, well, do we want to get in? Because I think there was a lot of interest in that whole discussion around student voice. because it's easy. And that was a big epiphany for me is at that conference, because we were trying to talk about student voice, and it dawned on me right then and there is that I can't even talk about student voice. I need to give student voice. And so I think that's the ultimate goal we're trying to achieve with those 3 seats over there. And you guys have done an outstanding job of helping show us what that looks like. So thank you so much for the service that you've given to us. As Scott said, we're super excited to see what the future holds for you guys. I want to up to the rest of the board, though, to talk a little bit about why they didn't want you guys to be a part of this.
I'll start. I was so skeptical at first because everything that President Weld said, and then in addition, I pictured myself at your age, and I thought that board meetings would bore with tears. I was like, what teenager is going to want to come to board meetings? They're not riveting. And I am so happy that you all proved us wrong. It has been the best honor to work with you, to work together, hear your voices, your input. Everything that comes out of your mouth, I want you to know, is so valuable. Watching you perform at CASB in all your different capacities, running meetings, answering questions, I was just in awe. And I probably am going to get choked a little bit because I'm sad that it's our last day here with us. It's just been such an honor. Just consider you like my little substitute children, and it's been a beautiful honor to serve with you. I'm so excited for your future.
Well, I'll go next. Not as eloquent as Monica or Michael, but thank you for choosing to spend your evenings with us a couple of times a month, and choosing to go into the schools with Scott for part of the Superintendent's Advisory Council. It means that's probably been one of the most impactful things, is having your students have a role model in front of them as well. So thank you for choosing this opportunity.
Yeah, I would agree. I think President Will said it very well, but I just want to thank you guys for embarking on this experiment with us, because it has been that. We've all learned a lot as we've done this. I think it's been eye-opening for all of us and for the 3 of you, really. But thank you for starting that with us. It's easy for us to forget sometimes, I think, that what we're really up here to do is provide opportunities for us. That's really what all this is. So that's what we tried to do with you two. With this role, I think it's gone well. For the record, I was on board. In fact, I think I'm the one that suggested bringing them both on board. So
You're not helping sell the story.
But it has been a lot of fun to watch you guys grow, watch the role grow. One of the things I've been most impressed with, you took it seriously, which I think we hoped you would do. And it wasn't just about what you do, particularly 5. You went to the Superintendent Advisory Council, you went to the elementary schools, you went to the middle school, and brought back what they all had to say to us too. And that's just very important. So thank you both for that.
I get to go last, so everybody said a lot of things I completely agree with. And Michael threw us all under the bus, but we love having you here. We were worried about what it would do for academically, and especially the kind of students you are, all the activities you have. So I know how hard it is to get here when you're busy. I really admire that, especially at your age. It'd be a lot easier to go home, play a video game or something like that. So your dedication is really appreciated and not unnoticed. And the thing I've enjoyed most is, of course, a few of us we've watched you grow up from kindergarten up. So that has been amazing to see you grow into 2 beautiful, amazing young women. And just the feedback you bring us, and the things that we would never hear if we didn't have students tapping in. We do go to all the schools, but just getting that feedback about what's really going on the ground. I love it, and I love the questions you ask. I love the feedback you give us, and grace that you've given us as we've made mistakes. We really appreciate that, and love having you here. I'm gonna miss you a lot. I don't get emotional very often, but yeah, we loved it. It was an amazing experience, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did. So,
How do we want to do? We've got some small tokens of our appreciation. How do you want to? How did you envision us presenting?
I envision you taking the lead.
Okay.
Something exciting?
Well, I think we'll do a full board photo up here in front. But, for your travels.
Aww. These are cool.
And you guys have handed out thousands of these. I each get one.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One 100. I got no grip. And thank you. Thank you.
I've done that test.
Where do we want this?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Where do you want
You guys are front and center.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
go faster.
Do you want to do the usual? They don't make one slow for me. There's no fatigue. No.
And before anybody takes off and runs away, after that, do you have cake, right?
Woo! It's just a picture.
Dang it. Got my hopes up.
All right, before we move on to our teachers, I just want to say to both of you as you move on, any changes made starts with one individual. And both of you leveraged your voice. You've watched it happen. I've watched it in my short time in this district. Both of you two make a difference in the world around you. I just want you to continue to do that and think about what's next for you and the impact it will have in whatever direction it takes you. So thank you both for being, as I said earlier, pioneers. Pretty awesome. So. With that, I'd love to bring up Tucker. Can we start with you? We've got a few retirees tonight to celebrate. And Tucker, we'd love to start with our 2 elementary retirees. Yep, sure.
First talk?
Yep. You're good, Tucker.
All right. That's not where voice. I've had to talk a lot. We did our 5th grade promotion ceremony today, and I told Becky I'm not going to look at her. I'm emotionally kind of drained, so I'm going to just get through it all. I'm with Katie. When I first started as a principal in Milliken, Katie was one of the people who made me feel supported right away. I still remember, like, if you walked into the library at that point, it looks beautiful now. But if you walked into it at that point, the walls were orange, the floor was red. It was, and I was like, we got to do something, because it like gave me a headache every time I walked down the hall. And I told Katie, like, I'd love to paint this wall or something. I wanted to piece of carpet, but we couldn't do that. And she's like, she supported my vision and she encouraged me. And I think that just says a lot about who Katie is. Like, she's someone who believes in people. She supports new ideas. She helps others feel confident. She's always positive and encouraging. And that just made a lasting impact on me, and I'm sure it has for some others. Becky, one thing I appreciate about Becky is her ability to know when someone needs encouragement. Honestly, I think like a sixth sense. She can read your face or your body language or just the situation. There was a time where I just started at Lefford and we had some assembly and I was used to, oh, I'm going to pack up all the chairs. So I'm getting everything like put away and whatever. Becky's like, do you need help? And I was like, no one's ever asked me, do I need help? Like, it was just, everybody's house, there are other things going on. But I was like, yeah, like, and it just touched me that she saw, like, yeah, I was fried and I needed someone just to lend a hand. But she always checks in at the right moment. There'll be times where sometimes the principal, you get dressed, it happens once in a while. And she always like, I don't need to talk to Tucker right now, but I'm going to go to him and just say, is everything going all right? What I can do? And I don't need much, but that is what I need. And to that for a lot of people. So she has a gift for making people feel seen and supported. Her kindness and care for others make a difference every single day. So at LOL, we're the explorers. And the two of you have spent years helping students navigate challenges, celebrate their successes, and feel safe along the way. Now you get to explore new adventures and opportunities in retirement. The wonderful thing about explorers, though, is they always find their way back home. And you will always have a home at LOL and Weld.
Look, whoever's got to go after that.
I know.
You want to hand them out?
Do we want to all do it at once?
We can, Dave, you want to come up and do your three, and then we'll hand out the drinks at the same time?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, how much time do I have?
All night.
I mean, there's cake sitting over there,
You
so.
guys hear me? Yeah. All right. Okay, my name is, for those who don't know me, I'm Dave Benson. I'm the principal at Roseville High School. So I get the benefit of saying a few words of your retirees here tonight. So I'll kind of have a little things to say about each, and I can kind of congratulate, but that's okay. So the first, I have the pleasure of saying a few words on behalf of Suzanne Sabota. Look at that right there. Good waves, you know. Who has dedicated 32 years of service, 19 at Rosa High School, to the students in our system who often the most champion in our schools. As a special education teacher, she knows that we need an advocate, a cheerleader, a skilled educator across all content areas, and a mama bear with a tender heart. Ms. Sabota is all those things. Through her 19 years at RHS, she's been a constant. She's been constant. She's been the foundational staff member through dozens of ed colleagues, coming and going, countless paraprofessionals, at least 4 principals, and at least a half a dozen sped directors. She's a keeper of history and someone that I leaned on when I began 5 years ago as principal to tell it like it is, or give it to me straight. At RHS, she has a department that consistently has had a special education graduation rate that is higher than the state average, and is usually higher than the rate of the general education students within the school. A testament to her work, her focus, her drive to get her students across that finish line, which is a high school diploma. All of this operating with the change I mentioned within the district, at times her own health battles, and as we all know, the ever-changing rules, regulations, and policy positions as the world of special education law. In addition to the attributes I mentioned, Suzanne is really funny. It's a quip, a look he gives me as I pass in the hall, or my favorite, I just named today, the Voda flop. And what is this? My first few years here, Suzanne would come into my office, not quite certain if she knocked or not, and she would just flop into the chair across my desk, super expressive, super demonstrative in her body movements, and that was a clear signal that we needed to work through some stuff. We would have a laugh, come up with a solution, and get back to work. But that's Suzanne. She's all in. That being said, I have noticed this past year or so she hasn't done that. And my feeling is that she has reached the enviable position that all of us aspire to, which is retirement. The freedom to hand over the reins to others, knowing that you've done all you have. Ms. Sabota, your kids will miss you, your colleagues will miss you. I miss our days together, and I know your retirement is deserved. Congratulations. Keep going? All right. Mr. Bowler. All right. John, interestingly enough, has also spent 19 years at Roosevelt High School, with this week ending his 32nd year of guiding or directing and inspiring students in their love of music. John Alderson is and has been the Rough Rider music program. Other than choral music, John has been a department of one during his years at Roosevelt. Now, to some, it might seem like a pretty good deal. No one bothers you. No one argues with you. Well, what I mean, at least in my observations over the past 5 years, is John does everything and is everywhere. He is the instrumental band teacher, the concert and marching band director, the leader of orchestra, the lead in winter guard, the driver of the bus, the loader of the equipment, the beef and day guy, the mainstay of pep assembly, and state send-off as the hype man and the guy who gets us started. The reassuring voice when taking students to district and state competitions, the accompaniment for our theater productions, the professional who gets the band kids down to the football field for the past 19 years on Friday Night Lights, sets up all the instruments, organizes the adults, helps them, directs the rousing performance, not matter it's miserable weather, and all in 8 minutes. I haven't recognized how remarkable all of this is and has been, well, frankly, you haven't been paying attention. And I'm certainly, I left some things out that you do. In my mind, I have come to the conclusion that John is a doer. John is totally committed in action for the benefit of his students. I say this because John is not a huge conversationalist. Maybe he is at home, I don't know. Oh, he is. Sometimes I must admit I try to get him to carry on a bit. It's a huge win for me if I can get him laughing at something I said. My point, his colleagues in the arts department describe him as a comedy sniper. Means he's funny, but like a sniper, he's succinct, he's quick and deadly with a comment. He will not start the banter, but he will chime with precision. Like Suzanne, for 19 years, you've been the constant. You have grown this program to where today. As you reflect your legacy, I hope that you and your family of missions are all proud of you, that you have given to the Weld arts community, Roosevelt. You will miss. Midwest comes out again. You'll be missed. It's because your students adore you, John. You are always welcome. All right, Mr. Luster, where are you? There you are, buddy. All right, Mr. Luster, or as the students do call you, Lust, has dedicated the last 25 years to students in this and other districts with the last 6 years service at Roosevelt. There has been a theme here as I speak tonight. Gary is also a Depart 1, a constant for his kids, this community, and the career pathways as a whole. Gary Lester is what we call in this business as a unicorn, a rare find. What I mean by that is that in his case, he's a man who knows his content and specifically has the skills in the trades of construction, woodworking, electrical, and advanced carpentry, and can actually teach kids.
Coming for you. I need him, right? Is that the way you guys have
it gets worse. In addition, he loves kids and kids love him. Why this is so rare is that in the construction industry or on a construction site, they may not be known for patience, nuance, grace, or adhering to appropriate language. But Gary does have all those attributes. You are a true gentleman, a kind man, a man of faith, who will do anything for his kids. To further my point, and Gary might not know this, but quite frankly, he saved us in August of 2021 in more ways than one. We had an opening in construction, a vision of things to come with this district, the new building, a construction pathway that met the needs of so many of our kids who, until that point, they were being underserved. Well, 2 weeks before, we were panicked to find a teacher. Dr. Alvin and I viewed a few candidates, and they were acceptable, but most were construction guys, not necessarily teachers of kids. And Dr. Albert told me about Gary, a unicorn, a guy that can do both. Can we get this guy from Greeley? Well, he agreed, and we are. I am certain this program would not have existed without you, Gary. We would not consistently have an overload of students every year want your class, and our kids would not have been able to secure their careers without you. All of this you should be immensely proud of as your legacy. You are welcome back. I hope you continue to coach our high jumpers and be a president of full games and give the benefit of your wisdom to your congratulations.
Thank you very much. Say it.
Let's have all 5 of our retirees come up. Each board member has for each of you, and we'd love to get a picture of you with the board and all of you together with the board.
What? But somebody to open it so everybody knows what's going on. Thank you.
Congratulations on Thanks. How's your honeymoon? Thank you. Thanks for coming. Have fun. Thank you. You sound great for getting yeah. Thanks for making it.
Thanks.
Hang out.
Of course.
Well deserved.
That was my goal, my
Not right away.
Yeah, I would do too.
Nothing.
Rob will do a great job. Yeah.
I think so.
You guys have to take your.
I was wondering.
Go open the box.
Yeah, I have a ring for you.
On the back, then it's small.
Okay.
It's just the.
Your award. Yeah, congratulations. I'm gonna miss you saying hi in the hallway. I know.
You can all ring them together.
I know. No, we're never there. We're never there. A little busy. Always doing the things. Are you gonna unwrap your belt?
You need
I guess we're unwrapping.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
Tonight, Johnny just sits and loses, baby.
Yeah, I know it.
Bell, you needed a bell earlier.
Right in front?
Yeah, I think right in front, just not.
I know.
Just not.
Down, I
Just
have
not
a
luster in
chance.
front of it.
Yes.
Oh.
You're gonna have to bring me to step stool like I used in the OR.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or just one of those like little foldable ones. You just bring it with you every day. Oh yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there we go.
I'm a child.
Yeah, we can see. We're good.
Right in the middle.
We got windows. We got windows.
That's fitting.
Cake and family photos.
I know. Well, this city's gonna orchestrate.
Ms. Diagana, would you show us going into recess at 6:44? All right, it is 7:01. We'll reconvene our regular session. Any other celebrations that we need to?
That'll culminate celebrations. President.
All right, thank you. So you turn mine on too. Let's go on to reports and comments from board members. Miss Chambers.
Yes. Oh, am I starting with the board report?
Yeah.
Last one. Speaking of last, I've gone last lately. Last track meet was on Saturday. And you guys will hear about that next board meeting. But boys got second, girls got third. It was a really great way to go out. And seeing how the team has progressed from, it's great if we score in the 20s to now we're in the top. We have top 3 programs, which is insane to me. And it's a great place to be. And I'm sure that they'll be even better next year. And I was really grateful to be able to be part of that. I also had my last choir and band concerts. The band concert was special because it was also Mr. Balderson's concert, so we had a lot of surprises there. And I was working a lot behind the scenes. I invited a bunch of alumni. We had videos made, and we made one big video for Mr. Balderson. And it was really cool to see all the people show up for him, but then also all the really nice things they had to say about him. And I said a concert that if I tried to fit every single video in its entirety into one big video, we would have been there for like a whole 3 hours. Which is really amazing, and that was really hard for me editing that video. I was like, oh, what do I leave in? But all the videos ended up sent to him anyways. So I hope he had a fun time watching those. Other than that, just doing senior stuff, and I have the elementary walkthrough tomorrow. I'm excited for that. It'll be a really interesting experience because elementary school is still there, but every other school I've been in has moved. And we'll get to go to all of them, but it's still interesting. So I'm excited for that, though. And I just want to say thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be able to do this. This role is definitely nothing how I imagined it, and it has definitely changed me in a lot of ways. And I cannot be more grateful for this experience, and I really hope I represent the Board of Education well after I leave. That's all I have.
Okay.
My next.
You are.
I just had a quick question for Hayden. Are you going to continue music?
I am. I am filming my audition video for the senior marching band next week. And then I'll hear sometime in July if I make it.
My prediction. Well, for my report and comments, I wish that everyone hadn't left yet, because I just really wanted to thank all of the staff at Weld RE-5J. This is such a busy time of year for teachers, and not only teachers, but every person that's in the buildings, from the janitorial service to those who work in the cafeteria, paras. Everybody is so busy. And we just want to say thank you to everyone that makes schools function. It really takes an army, and there's just not a day I'm not grateful. I have a child in the school system, and I'm so grateful for everyone's service, especially during these busy, hard months. And then as far as reports, my work often crosses with Weld RE-5J, and last week we got to host PRE for Literacy Night at the library, which was really special. It was a great turnout, so that was a really great event. And then at Milliken Public Library, we got to host MES and MIS. So this was our vision when we wanted to open this, is to see the building being utilized by the community, by the school district. So it really just makes my heart swell with happiness and pride to see those buildings being used by the community and by our school district. So I am just very grateful for that, and looking forward to celebrating all of our graduates this weekend.
All right. Well, I feel probably what most parents and staff are feeling this time of the year. They had really good intentions to do a lot of things and just felt crispy fried at the end of the day. So was unable to do half of what I intended to do. But one thing I did get to do was the Milliken Public Library opening, which was a phenomenal event. I think what was really incredible about that is we've done grand openings for schools in the district, and there's been grand openings for businesses. The turnout at that event was literally incredible. And it's going to be a great space, and I appreciate that the library wanted to work with us and do that, and that they were patient. I know that there were some hurdles through that in getting funding and the contract and permitting. But here we are, we're at the end of it, and we can proceed forward. So it'll be really exciting to see what happens next.
Staff, we're almost there. It is May-cember, like we've all said. Everything is happening. We're very busy, but having a senior just adds, like Hayden was saying, just the extra level of being on top of it. The library opening was awesome. I have said board, and one of their board members is here. I was nervous about having the library in that space. I think I said that from the beginning, but it turned out amazing. It is an amazing space. It will be a great benefit to our community, but the town of Milliken in particular. It was really exciting. The way we used some of the equipment that was in that building, some of the tabletops and the basketball floor and all those things was really cool to see. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the library folks will do in that space. The only other thing I want to talk about, there are a million things to talk about, but I had the opportunity to attend the senior awards a week or so ago. And man, our seniors are busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think Mr. Benson said, and don't hold this number, but I think he said the senior class this year has earned $1.2 million in scholarships so far. And there are a number of scholarships that will continue to come in over the summer. So excellent group, well represented. And this group, your class, Hayden, is the last class that experienced the old Roosevelt High School. So I'm sure we'll hear about that on Friday at graduation. But just one more thing I wanted to point out. It's been a lot of fun to see you guys go through the system, and I'm sure that it's all well. So thank you.
I too was at the senior awards. Pretty awesome to see what all of the different scholarships and watching the community give back to those kids. Of course, Hayden was there, received a handful herself. We had a few girls get full ride scholarships, academic scholarships. One was Vanderbilt, one was a school in New York. It's slipping my mind. But really a lot to be proud of in the achievements that these kids have accomplished. A few joined the military. That's always nice to see as well. Different kind of service. Senior parade, I had to go to a softball tournament, but I got a little glimpse of it, and of course a bunch of pictures. So all the senior activities, and then I'm going to do it again next year. So envy that. So no, it's been great watching kids, seeing all their awards, all their accomplishments. Really proud of them. Lots of kids going right into the workforce with the help of our CTE program. Had some welder apprentices. Is that right? Yeah. Some construction sorts of things. So really cool to see all of that. Sad I missed Lois's graduation. Worked till 7. Happy I'm cutting my 12-hour shifts, so I'll be able to make it to more of that stuff and get off work at a normal time instead of 7 p.m. But yeah, really proud of our kids, graduating class. Awesome. All of the kids, all of their achievements. It's been a good year. So that's what I have. Oh, I did have one. The celebration of life for Laura is Friday. And the community, I don't know if you guys saw the fundraiser that someone did for them. So thank you to the community for stepping up for that family and let's continue to do so and go celebrate her life on Friday.
I want to say thank you to Monica for kind of starting that conversation about staff, and Nate, of course, adding to that. It is so easy, and it is so easy with everything that's going on. I get so focused on, what the event that's happening, or put the focus right in the center, and forget about all the stuff that's going on in the periphery and the people who are doing stuff behind the scenes and getting stuff ready. And so, I know we don't do that enough, but thank you for all the staff who do the little pieces that make the big piece move in the direction we're trying to get it to move. Can't do without everybody. The library opening, oh yeah, that was awesome. I had a High Plains meeting Monday night, and I think it was you who said the turnout, or you who said the turnout. Both of you said the turnout. Yeah, based on those standards, I mean, the turnout was awesome, because everybody at the meeting, all the board members who had attended the opening were just ranting and raving about, number one, the turnout, but two, just the quality of the facility, and so excited to see what the programming is going to look like now that you guys have that extra space. So super excited about that. Last night did attend the BOCES graduation. I tell you guys, you missed it. I mean, it is life changing. It is simple. I think they said about 47 graduates.
How many Roosevelt students?
18 Roosevelt students graduated. The oldest graduate was 22. She was kind of their valedictorian. She spoke, gave a eloquent speech to kick the ceremony off. But it was the fun and nice thing was all the staff came over to Scott and Dave and Randy and myself, and just said, thank you so much for allowing us to have it here. I think it's Dave's left, hasn't he? Yeah. He went to it once, and they used to do it over at Platteville, and he's like, we can't. You can't do it here. You got to bring it back to Johnstown. We have the space to hold all these people, and it was just a lot of fun. So I'm glad that we're able to provide that facility for them to do that. Because a lot of those kids are our kids, and it's nice for them to be able to enjoy that honor in our facility. So as far as graduation is concerned, I just kind of came to the conclusion of this about 10 minutes ago. I think I'm in denial for it, so I don't have much more to add to that. Let's see how I am Saturday evening or Friday evening, or Saturday evening too. But
don't go Saturday.
Yeah.
See, I'm in denial. Hayden, once again, thank you. You have been just a delight to have. So.
Tell my parents that. Do you? I tell them.
I think they know. Anything else?
Just a quick question. Do we have an exact number? I know it's our largest graduating class. Do we know the final number
We will.
of graduates?
We will here shortly.
Okay.
Perfect.
Did I jump the gun?
Yes.
I just read that up.
Spoiler alert.
Or if I keep on reading down.
306.
He's also ordered Little Wind this year.
Little Wind. I like it.
Perfect.
And not the beads.
For the graduates.
Okay, let's move on to the superintendent's report.
Thanks, President and board members. Before I jump into other things, just some nuts and bolts for graduation. The ceremony this year is at 6:30. And so if you are in the arena or just outside the arena with your gown on between 6 and 6:15, you're ready to roll. And then if you mingle with staff, but then Dave will line all of you up inside. Parking on the east side of the house, again, and likely it will be roped off, or there'll be people there, tell them who you are. And you should be able to go out and park on the side of the arena, so you have an easy in and also an easy out. And then you'll be up on stage this year. We're not shaking hands, so that's one of the areas we shortened. We actually maybe did that, I can't remember. So Michael will come up and do his little speech. I also just have to say, as we're going through the end of the year, for me, there's this tension for me, and it's not tension, it's in the wrong spot, but missing the graduation here will be hard. Because you watch those students for my 3 years, they're students I've watched do a lot of great things. But 6:30 on Friday night, I'll be watching my daughter graduate. So, and so I'll be doing that and going through some of the same things Hayden's talking about. And, we've been experiencing over the last. Any questions about graduation night?
I have a question. Are we wearing gowns?
Yes. Yep.
And are we just getting them?
They'll get them for you as soon as you get there, and Justin's will be there to help you.
Oh, I already picked out a full-length evening gown for this.
Do they have a miniature?
You're the president of the board, Michael. If you want to wear that, go ahead.
Good to you.
I mean, Monica had such a beautiful dress last year, or was it 2 years ago? 2 years
Yeah, I
ago.
bought a special dress for graduation because I hadn't been in robes before, and then we got covered up.
Got covered up.
I'm just gonna wear my
That's
ugliest dress this year. No, I'm just kidding.
Pajamas. I don't so.
No, it's just my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Last couple of weeks, I was checking out what the library did, and they did a fantastic job. It's a great facility. Selfishly, I'm the son of a librarian, and so I'm coming into town for granddaughter's graduation this week. So I'm hoping sometime during having all these people in our house, we can come down and see it this weekend, because she'll love what you did with the library. It's phenomenal. So a testament to that, and what a great partnership, and great for the district community and the library district. That's just phenomenal. I was also at the senior awards and blown away by just the plethora of awards that were given away that night. It is phenomenal to see, being a part for me, being a part of Rotary, and to see what Rotary is giving away. There are tons of groups that want to give our students, they want to honor the work they've done when they're at Roosevelt, and that's really powerful. I had a chance to join Roosevelt Middle School for their orchestra concert that same night, and it was awesome. The day of the library opening, Eddie's last stand, I think there were 59 teams at our facility. Again, all of the things, and we've talked about this here before, but the way that campus built, whether you're talking about Bosie's graduation last night, or the track meets we're running, or the concerts we have in there, it is an amazing campus for lots and lots of things. So a testament to this district. All those decisions were made long before I got here, but we as a district, we as a community benefit from what the district is offering this community right now. So I'll close tonight by saying thank you.
Well, thank you, and congratulations for your congratulations with your daughter. I'm glad that you can be there for her, or with her.
Yeah,
for her. She's going to be there for you.
That's probably how it'll work.
Tell her to go bus
I will. Any questions for Superintendent Nielsen? All right, hearing none, we'll go to our SOS report.
All right, good evening, Mr. President. I'm Rusty Williams, District CFO. I have a few slides prepared tonight so we can talk about the development process.
We don't have a sequence report. The budget is after the consent.
I have, let's see, that's what mine says.
Did we skip?
Skipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, next is consent.
Well, I'm looking at the agenda for May 6th, so.
Rusty's like, oh no. Way to roll with it, Rusty, though.
This is completely off the radar. I do not like the new system.
Okay.
All right.
You nailed it, though.
Rusty, I'm sorry.
Impromptu is awesome.
Thank you, Amanda, for tonight.
It was actually Jessica's for the record. She was the one
She
who
was
caught it.
like-
She was giving me the look in it. She was like, oh my God.
I'd like to know I didn't have my face set up.
Okay, my apologies. So, our was parliamentary procedure for consent agenda listing several items for approval of the board by a single motion. Most of the items under the consent agenda have gone through thorough board review and recommendation. Documentation concerning these items has been provided to all board members and the public in advance to ensure an extensive review. And it may be removed by a board member. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Director John, second by Director Proctor, to approve consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is passed. All right, now this looks more familiar to where we've been tonight. Jeez. Recess if necessary. Yes. Okay, let's move on to some old business. First item is the final reading of policy RE-5J. It's the student use of cell phones and other personal technology devices. Dan and Nielsen.
President Wales, board members had no comments on the cell phone policy since first reading. We're asking you to take action tonight to vote in the RE-5J cell phone policy.
Hayden, have you heard any from other kids, student?
Not really. I mean, from what I've talked about in the past, like I haven't been able to talk about this specific policy, but we've talked about it in the superintendent advisory meetings. I feel like most students that I have talked to agree that like they like the flexibility of being able to have it. It's like, you know, it's not a distraction. But they also acknowledge that every year is different and they have different ways of going about things. Because I've been in classes where we just get on a computer, we do our work and leave. And there are other classes where there are lectures, and so we need to be paying attention to that. So I think I haven't heard any like negative feedback. So I like it. So again, I think it's flexible. I think it allows teachers to kind of, you know, have it however they want to. And it defines everything. I have one question though. Is the PTV including like AirPods and headphones? Because I see almost everything I can think of in there except anything about getting audio devices.
Great question. Ms. Kramer, do you have?
I'm reading it right now.
That is the other thing, because like when I talk to teachers, they'll usually always mention like you gotta have your AirPod or you can only have like your headphones on when you're working. Different for every teacher.
Yeah, it is included in there.
Could you tell me where specifically?
This paragraph.
Yeah, it says any privately owned portable technology device, including but not limited to cell phones, pagers, tablets, laptops, cameras, audio and or video recorders, players, and all other handheld electronic communication devices. So I would take that to include AirPods, any other audio device.
So that would fall under like the recorders and stuff. I was just curious because I did notice that.
It's a good, I mean, you walk around the high school and everybody's got at least one.
So anyways, yeah, I haven't really heard anything, but that was my question.
Thank you.
So based on what you just read, I need to start silence your cell phones and computers again, right? Because now included, we've got to eat our own. Do you have to eat our own soup here?
all you have to say, cell phones, pagers, tablets, laptops, cameras.
No, it's up to the teacher or
The discretion.
the discretion of the leader of the room. Any other questions? Okay, so this is back for a second reading. We can take action on it tonight. There is a recommended motion if anyone is so inclined.
I'll make a motion to adopt policy JICJ, student use of cell phones and other personal technology devices as presented.
Second.
Moved by Director Johnson, a second by Vice President Sassano to adopt policy update JICJ as presented. Discussion on the motion. Green Diagana, would you please pull the board?
Monica Johnson?
Yes.
Amanda Proctor?
Yes.
Nate Fasano?
Yes.
Amy Musgrave?
No.
Michael Wick?
Yes. That'll go into our policy manual and become effective immediately. We'll move on to special business, right? Am I right? Do I have that?
We're good.
The RHS FFA Horse Judging Team Nationals Trip Request.
President Wales, board members, we have Coach Hopkins with some of our FFA members here that are planning to travel, I believe, to Fort Worth. And I think we've got some of our FFA students that are going to talk about their request, support that they need, but also tell us a little bit about what they're going to do when they're in the great state of Texas.
Real quick, Ms. Diagana, would you show that Mr. Burek has joined us?
So I'm Brent Hopkins, the FFA advisor at Roosevelt High School. I'm 3 now. I say I have 2 great colleagues that I work with. I'm so appreciative for that. It's amazing to have other ag teachers in the department and see what they're able to do. And it's been a lot of fun this year with the 3rd ag teacher edition. So anyways, with that said, big shout to Weld RE-5J before I get started for my pay raise, which is substantial this year, because I'm done paying college tuition. Both of my students went through Weld RE-5J school system from elementary all the way through high school. Both have graduated university in 4 years, so job well done. And a special shout out to a couple of teachers here tonight, because I can tell you that Mr. Yost and Ms. Morrison were both very instrumental and helpful to both of my students. Especially Blake will give you both big shout outs. So anyway, so thank you for that. With that said, that's not why I'm here tonight. I am very proud of this horse judging team that I have here with me. And they placed 3rd at the state contest. And they are here tonight to tell you a bit about what we are proposing and why they want to take this trip and represent our high school and the state of Colorado at a very prestigious national competition. So I'll go ahead and let Natalie Schmidt go ahead and start, and then Shaylee Jones and Aiden Jekyll will follow with what they have to say. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Like Hopkins, my name's Natalie, and we're the horse judging team over at Roosevelt. Like Hopkins said, we did 3rd at the state contest out of 43 teams, and so state is the biggest contest that we can go to. Prior to that, we won the district contest, got first because we did wonderful there. So proud of everyone on our team. But just a little bit about horse judging. So we go to contests put on by the FFA organization, and we basically judge the horses in the classes. So there's 4 in a class. The classes vary from one where there's an actual rider, so whether it's a ranch riding class showing if they can do basic skills that you're going to need on a ranch, or a pleasure class showing how professional and posh all these horses look. And then we also have halter classes that we judge, which is by the horse's balance, their conformation, how they're made, their muscle. So those are some of the things that we do, and then along with that, after placing the classes, we give a set of reasons, and so we go in front of a judge and we prepare a set within 30 minutes, give our reasons we're judged on that. So we have a lot of fun doing it, but placing third at state did qualify us to go represent the state of Colorado down in Fort Worth, Texas, to go to the APHA World Contest, and that's the American Paint Horse Association. And so this is a really, really big world show. It's a championship. The riders there are going to go and win a bunch of money. We are going to have the opportunity to go and judge all these really high-named people in the horse industry. So we're really excited about it. We're going to head there, hopefully do a bunch of fun things while we're down there. But we're really proud to have the opportunity. And so that's just a little bit about what horse judging is and what we qualified for. So I'll hand it over to Shay. Thank you so much.
Hello, as a Shay. We would like to let you know that we have sought out other ways to help fund. We've sent out letters to those who buy at auction fairs as such, and the chapter is also helping out with something, and we did pay for districts as Natalie previously said. We got first show. While we are in Texas, our families will cover for anything that we do, like any extra trips, like the parks that's there. And our families will also be covering the attire that we wear, which is more of just a professional look that usually consists of like a nice cowboy hat or a nice button-up or blouse along with jeans and boots. So really just the expenses that we're looking to help with are the registration and flights there. So I'll go ahead and pass off the mic to Eden.
All right, I just want to let you all know like how big of an opportunity this is for us personally. As a group, we personally, this opportunity is going to be fantastic for us. We will be going to a national competition that will have hundreds of people there competing, not just in competing and showing the horses, but also in judging them. So this is a huge opportunity for us to showcase not only this district, but also this state and how well we can judge horses. And so I personally want to say thank you all for letting us be here to show off what we did and to let you all know what's going on. And
Does anyone have any questions about maybe what we're going for, what else horse judging entails?
I do. Thank you. And thank you for the great presentation. I always love Mr. Hopkins brings judges in because we learn so much more about the judging process and different types of livestock. And so I have a question. I actually grew up, my stepfather was an AQHA and SQHA judge. So I kind of grew up in the horse shows. Are you guys actually not only judging the animals, the showmanship of the handler as well?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And so it's not only just Western classes too. We also judge some Hunter Hack and some classes. So we don't really know what we're going to judge until we get there, but it goes from reining, ranch riding, trail, English, jumping, all of it. So we judge not only the horse, but we also judge the rider, what they're doing as a team, because it is a team when you have a rider and an animal going into the arena together to go and present a pattern. So we look at the pattern, make sure they're completing it right. We look at the rider, their aids and cues, what they're telling the horse. So we judge it all.
Wow.
And so you're judging and then someone's judging you?
Yep, so our judge is getting judged by a judge.
Do they just sit behind you all austerely and?
So the judges are in the arena because they're also judging the actual class. They're the ones who are going to place those people. We are just there and watching from the stands or wherever else, unless it is a halter class. Halter classes, we do have to need to come down into the arena, have close inspection on the horses. That way we can really check their top line, muscling, balance, all that. So we bubble in our scores on a Scantron, and then they go do that. And we have reasons. We have done a good job of memorizing reasons. There are some teams that contest, and they bring their notes and everything. but our team has really strived on having them completely memorized, going and give them in front of a judge. So we get our scores back. Well, at CSU for everything, we get them back the next day. We just are there, and the judges are in the typically most of the time at a different stand.
So you guys are applying race responses to your judging. Now, so do you guys work as a team? Do you submit as a team, or do you submit individual?
So that's actually a great question. During the contest, there's absolutely no talking to anyone. We are split up into 4 completely different groups because we do have another member on our team. Unfortunately, she was able to be here this evening, but we are completely split up. There's no cell phones. There's no nothing. You're completely silent. There's been teams that get disqualified for having wandering eyes or thinking that you're trying to communicate with members. So we have actually no communication until the contest is over. We are graded as a team and individually. So there's both different categories. But yeah, so we submit as a whole. And a lot of times the 4 of us on a team, and the top 3 highest scores count towards your overall score as a team. And then individually it's just based on your raising your placings.
So just so I'm clear, it is a competition that you guys can place in rather than opportunity to work with other judges.
Correct. However, those times as the contest is completely over, then we get to talk to other people. So we've made a lot of connections. But performance horses over there, we talked to some of the people over there. We're working on a contest that maybe we'll be able to do in future years over in that arena. We build a lot of connections with the judges, other riders, other people in FFA, but it's a lot of also excelling individually and as a team and learning those skills.
Can I ask one more question? How is this different than FFA Nationals?
So national convention, so there is a horse contest for nationals specifically in Indianapolis. That's for whoever places first. If you place first, you are no longer you're no longer allowed to compete in horse judging at all. So we are very happy to have third. Although I'm a senior and it's my last year, they'll be able to judge horses and do what they
That was going
love.
to be my question, because I knew the rule applied, but it's only for first place.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. And so second place goes to the Quarter Horse Congress, and third place goes to Paint Worlds. So it's different just because it's a different area. Nationals, there's a lot more people here for a lot longer. We'll only be down in Fort Worth 3 days, and the days that we do fly out, we're flying out on the 19th. We can on the 20th, and we come back the 21st, and we're hoping to have to do some fun things in the morning of the 1st. But the 20th will be a full day competing. Nationals, a lot of times you're just going to first place, or unless you just would like to go have that opportunity. Thank you.
And in reality, as far as horses go, Paint World and Quarter Horse Congress are really cool because everything revolves around horses there. It's a horse function. Whereas you go to National FFA, yes, there's a horse contest there, but there's so many other contests going on there at the same time. So it's a really different type of experience. And also, I think since we do have a relatively young team, that this opportunity to go to a national level contest, the only team member we're going to lose is Natalie, unfortunately, who's an amazing leader for us. Gives the younger competitors more experience that would be advantageous to them in the future. And Natalie has been such a strong member of this team for 4 years. And I'm so excited that her senior year, we qualified for a national contest, and she's going to get to go represent her school and her state at the contest. So.
We're excited to go to Paint Worlds too. I personally had a paint horse who's gone down to show Worlds, so I'm really happy about that. And just Horse Congress and Paint Worlds, I feel also have a lot higher quality horses in comparison to nationals. We're just trying to find horses in Indianapolis versus people coming from all over the nation, bringing in these horses that went over $100,000. Like, these are really quality horses. So it gives us the best ability to judge higher quality horses versus things that we may see in Colorado or at national.
I have one question, Natalie, for you is, are you going to continue during direction postgraduate?
So I'm not going to go to school to be a judge. However, I'm still always going to be in the horse community. Once I get some land and everything and get horses of my own, I still would like to compete, because before joining the horse judging team and everything, well, we sold my horse my freshman year. But before that, I rode for Nowhere But Up. I was going to these contests. I was the rider. I was competing. I was being judged. And so it was a really exciting thing for me to be a part of this. And although I won't be able to be a judge anymore, I'm still going to be at the contest and go show. And I'm really excited to see what Shay and Aiden are going to do because they have so much potential.
Well, to give you an idea, one of the students that go do these kind of things might wind up doing as an adult. I have multiple students that are adults now that are out and they operate ranches, and horses are a big part of what they do on those ranches. Some of those ranches revolve more around cattle, but they still have horses as part of the operation. Others, horses are kind of the main operation for those ranches. Others have went on to coach at the high school level as FFA advisors, or even at the college level as college judging coaches. Others have went to work for like the AHA, American Reining Horse Association, or I currently have a student who works for the Equine Network, and she's one of the top executives there and helps go film stuff for the Equine Network all over the country. And like when the NFR is happening down in Vegas, she's going to be there, and she's going to be having a crew that works for her. And it all started with doing that stuff. So anyways, we have a lot of students that take this and don't necessarily always become judges at the next level, but certainly it becomes a big part of their life later on. And they use those same skills and talents and the problem solving, the communication, understanding how to work under pressure, get the job done when it counts. Those are skills that are valuable anywhere. So. Yeah, and you learn a lot more about the horses too, because coming from someone who rode, I knew how to see how the horses move the thing, but with judging their thing, you learn a lot more about their balance. And so when that goes into buying horses, because I want to have a ranch and all that, that'll be a huge help knowing their balance, their time, how short their back is, how all that plays into the overall horse, how they're going to move and all that. So that plays a huge part. So horse judging isn't just to go down and have fun and judge horses. It's also going to help buy and do all that.
I just wish I could talk to y'all because I watched the Golden Tempo race like 1,000 times. And I'm just so curious to how you would judge that race and that horse, but we can see for another night. But this is, I love the FFA team. Did I say that right? Because just what you're doing right now, the leadership skills that you come in and speak before a crowd, this is coming from competitions. And just what Coach said, you just have the entire package of being able to communicate, talk before crowds, articulate yourselves. I think it's very special what you're doing, and I'm just so proud of your team. And I really like your jackets. They're really nice. I know, I think they're so nice.
No, I'll just say, I know I usually say it at every opportunity with FFA and FBLA. You don't have to have a lot of people in a room smarter than me. And when you have FBLA and FFA, I always get a little nervous because they're going to talk way over my head. And you guys always do, so good job on that. Anything else? Any other questions about the budget or the
Can I
trip?
ask one technical?
Yep.
So the ask is for $2,400. Did I understand that right? I mean that's totally. I think we're good with that. And I just wanted to echo what President Wells said. Where FFA and FBLA come to talk to us, it's always really fun to see you guys are doing and how you do it. This kind of presentation from a high school student, even a senior, doesn't happen very often. So it's kudos to the three of you, the four of you really, and to you, Mr. Hopkins, for building a program that can send kids up to do these kind of things. So well done.
And I know that if you ate cake, we'd be more apt to approve your trip. I know. I was proud of you guys for partaking.
All right, so you're on the spot there, Monica.
I know.
All right, Monica's still scrolling.
You have to.
I'll motion to approve the out-of-state trip request, funding request, in the amount of $2,400.
We have a motion by Director Proctor, second by Director Musgrave to approve the FFA out-of-state request and the funding request in the amount of $2,400. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Diagano.
Johnson?
Yes.
Amanda Proctor?
Yes.
Nate Sisano?
Yes.
Amy Musgrave?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Have fun.
Go do your things.
Don't. And don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
We want pictures.
That'd be plenty.
Yeah.
Pictures and updates.
Thank you.
See, Jennifer, I told you, like, it's try and grasping her. Our next item is the speech and debate nationals trip request.
This one's exciting. I think, board members, you may remember 2 years ago, I remember it very clearly because I think speech and debate is a powerful thing for high schools to offer when we talk about those extracurricular activities. And you approved speech and debate and now been competing for 2 years. So, Coach Bentinez, will you take it away?
All right. My name is Karen Bentinez, and I'm coach of the speech and debate team, a team that 6 students and I began 3 years ago. So this is our 3rd year of competition. Since then, the team has doubled in size each year. We went to about 12 or 13 last year, and we had 21 students actively competing this year. We also went from attending 5 tournaments that first year, about all I could figure out. And this year, I think we attended 18. This will be 19. That includes for the first time ever going to state this year, where Sadie second in informational speaking. And so we've not just been expanding and doing more, but achieving more at each level. Let's see. We also, when we went to state, they funded that. The team helped, but they came up with that money. About a month ago, Sadie qualified to go to national. So this was a little bit of a last-minute tournament qualification. Out of 225 students, she placed in the top 16. And this is the first time ever competing in that tournament. She competes in an event called informational speaking, which is a teaching speech. And I always like telling people her speech is about, it's called The Curious Shape of a Pringle, but it's about non-Euclidean geometry.
Makes sense.
So the tournament is in Richmond, Virginia. So I'll be taking 3 students, Sadie, and I have the opportunity to take 2 other students so that they can learn and see that level of competition and compete. For 5 days, we are taking 1 other chaperone so that there will be 2 of us. The students don't always compete in the same building. There's 7,000 students competing at this tournament. And I can't remember, I think it's 1,500 schools. So that helps us always be where the students are. Let's see what else did I have. They are fundraising. Oh, and I'll let Maya tell you, Maya's our team captain. I'll let her tell you the fundraising things we've been doing. The team does have some funds left over that we are going to contribute. They're fundraising, and then we are also asking for some help coming up with the rest of the money. And I'm going to let Maya talk a little bit about some of the fundraising again. Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Maya. I am serving as this year's debate captain, and I will also be serving as next year's debate captain for my last year of high school. And this year and in past years, we've spent a lot of time. We've past, I think, 2 years, we've done several concession dates across the fall and in the spring. And this year we added on a few more fundraisers with going to help out with the track meets and raising money for our club there. Additionally, I've also worked with one of our local businesses, the Cracked Egg, and on June 6th, we will be doing a giveback where the owner, Tim, is going to donate 50% of all thrift sale profits to Nationals trip. And this is to kind of help, especially build more money for this trip because it is going to be such an amazing experience, not only for the competition experience, but also networking and talking to other teams about what they do for their team. And they get their team to the level where they're having 10 to 15 people qualify every year nationals, which is where I want to eventually get us. So.
Awesome. So I guess I should talk to you guys a little bit about what I'm going to be doing in Richmond. So on a very surface level, I'm talking about Pringles. On a deeper level, I'm talking about non-Euclidean geometry, and even deeper level, I'm talking about uncertainty in science. So how sometimes it's hard to grasp science, it's confusing, there's a lot of uncertainty, and it's kind of held against it. But really, it's about how uncertainty is really how we drive science, and having good questions is often more important than having all the answers. And a little bit about the NSDA national structure, because I know it can be really confusing because there's a bunch of tournaments. So state is run by CHASA. That's where I got second at, but that doesn't qualify you for anything after that. Then we have national qualifiers, which is in kind of like a district portioned off. But that qualifies you for NSDA nationals. And we had a couple people breaking into finals, but that is honestly more competitive than state is often. And I didn't make nationals through that tournament, but there is something called Last Chance Qualifiers, which is an online tournament. It is also very competitive. There are almost 225 students in my event. I got 8th, and that qualified me for NSDA nationals. There's another national circuit, at the risk of overcomplicating things, but it's NITOC, which is National Individual Event Tournament of Champions and Tournament of Champions. Tournament of Champions is for the debate side, and NITOC is for the speech side. So I competed at NITOC a couple weeks ago, but that is hosted by the University of Kentucky, separate from NSDA. So there's a lot of people that are supporting this speech community, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to speak and be in front of you all today.
So stay up there because I do have a question.
Questions?
So they probably didn't give you a bunch of topics that you just reached in and pulled one out. Do you have a passion for non-Euclidean geometry?
I love everything. I love everything, just nerdy math and science. I want to be a theoretical physics professor when I grow up, so this event really connects to what I want to do, teaching other people hard to grasp things. And so my event is a minute prepared speech. So I've been working on this speech throughout the entire season.
Okay.
Anything?
I have a couple questions. First off, did you say what was the date of the corrected June 5th?
Sorry?
June 6th.
6th?
Oh, the fundraiser, yes, June 6th.
June 6th. Okay, I just want to make sure that people heard it was June 6th.
We also have flyers. I told Maya to bring a lot. We can pass out flyers.
That's fine. The second question I had is you mentioned there are students that you're taking with you. Besides Sadie, one other. Well, Sadie and Maya and one other. Are Maya and the other student all competing, or are they observing the tournament?
Yes, so we are competing. So NSDA gives us the opportunity to, even if we didn't have anyone qualify, they give us the opportunity to send 2 students in supplemental events, which are basically still events that we can compete for a national title in, and they're still highly competitive, but they usually start a little bit later in the competition. Our events start on Wednesday, and they start, so for, oh my gosh, competitors like Sadie, if she doesn't make it through into further qualifying rounds, she also has the opportunity to participate in a supplemental event, and that's mostly to give people more experience and give them the opportunity to have extra days doing stuff and competing rather than just watching finals rounds or sitting around. So me and my other competitor, Eliza, have the opportunity to go compete in some supplemental events. We will both be competing in extemporaneous debate, as we're both debate students. And even if this isn't my specific event that I compete in, it's definitely going to help build those skills and give me the opportunity to see what other national qualifiers can do and see what their kind of skills look like that we can improve on ourselves, and then I can bring that back to the team itself.
Do they give you a list?
They do, yeah.
And just say we call any of these subjects for your debate.
It's
give 30 minutes.
Yeah, they give us our topics 30 minutes time, and then you have 30 minutes to research that topic. And you typically have to come up with both sides because you don't know which side you're debating until you enter them. But the NSDA gives a list of like example topics, and that's really that we have to go on. Often extemporaneous topics are about current political situations or current like social situations that are going on. It's a lot of current event based stuff, but definitely more quick on your thinking type of thing.
So we're not asking you about the Tarly Tariff Act of 1842. Take a position.
Please, no.
Oh, that's good.
I'd like Sadie to follow me around on a daily basis and explain hard science things to me. I feel like I need that.
Valid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, speech and debate is just cool because of the variety of events that we have. I feel like when we just go out and say speech and debate, people tend to think very narrow-mindedly about it and just like, oh, you're just going and debating someone. But there's a lot more depth to it, and there's events like in Sadie's event where you can talk about anything that you are passionate about. And it's really about being able to use your voice and people listen to it. So I think speech and debate is just an incredible thing, and I cannot wait to grow this team even more.
Well, thank you guys and presenting to us. Again, like I said earlier in the meeting, part of our job, biggest part of our job is to provide opportunities for students, and I'm excited to see what you all have grown this program into. I know it's only been, 3 years to have speech and debate, but to have that many students already competing, attending national, I think is really, really exciting. So well done to all of you.
And you both are underclassmen, right?
Yeah. And
That's even
Sadie,
exciting.
I'm waiting for your TED Talk.
I mean, this particular event, she has boards and visual aids that some needed.
Pringles?
They're Pringle. There's board that she manipulates, and then she's created. One was knitted to show like a waffle. So it's very, very creative.
Yeah. Just again, the same question I asked at the figure, but the ask it looks like is for about $1,600. Is that still accurate?
Actually, I would say, board, we have put on the second chaperone to make sure we have 2 there.
Okay.
And we believe we should cover that.
Okay.
So it's an extra $1,000.
So
2,600. Yeah.
That's again, money well spent. I think. Just wanted to confirm. So.
Can I just say before we take, first of all, Coach, I really appreciate the fact that we have 3 people going in our first 3 years is phenomenal. It's how to grow a program, right? You talked about, both of you talked about the power of being able to be around those that have been doing it for a long time and have the benefit of having a legacy program. How you build one is by going and watching them do and being around them and learning from them. So I can't wait to hear how it goes. Super exciting.
Any other questions or comments?
I would like to say, because I had the privilege of knowing both of them, Sadie specifically, when she said, she's like, oh yeah, my finger on non-Euclidean triangle, everyone in the room collectively probably gasped. But that doesn't surprise me about Sadie, because on top of this, and being a state rep, and she's a band leader, she runs the STEM club, which she started on her own, mind you. She's the leader of robotics team. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of things, but she's incredible. And she's an interact officer. That was one of the things we got. And you're in calculus too as a sophomore. That's crazy. I'm always in awe of what Sadie does and how smart she is, and nothing about her probably surprises me at this point. So good luck, and you're gonna do great. Maybe we'll have a national champion on it. But I think she can do it. No, I appreciate confidence.
Thank you. I've learned not to bet against her.
No, exactly. That's impossible for her.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. I will make a motion to the out-of-state trip request and the funding request in the amount of $2,628. Does that sound right before? Okay.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Vice President Sassano, a second by Director Johnson. Try to get this to approve the out-of-state trip request and funding requirement amount of $2,628 for stand debate. Any discussion on the motion?
just have one thing to say, like I still this weekend cleaned out my closet and found my club president sweater.
What?
I know, so I'm very envious. I was never as awesome or cool as you guys. I still have to Google what Sadie does talk about.
You got a sweater.
I'm
That's
very excited.
We can always use it.
There you go.
There you go.
Any further discussion? And Ms. Diagana.
Monica Johnson,
Yes.
Amanda Proctor,
Yes.
Desano,
Yes.
Amy Musgrave,
Yes.
Michael Witt.
Yes. Well, good luck, guys. Have fun.
I'm really proud of you. Thank you for everything.
Our next item of business is the Weld RE-5J Foundation presentation. Chairman Durst.
And team.
So we'll call this the small but mighty group of Weld RE-5J. So really, the foundation was really established in 2019 for just a couple short months. And then COVID hit and it kind of began to dissolve. So I reached out to, we had 6 members at the time, and 4 decided not move forward, and Jen stuck with me and went and got some powerhouse folks within the overall district to move this forward. So our establishment really, I feel like got kicked off in January of 2021, as we kind of had that and we got to get more members to really get going. And then we hosted our first big fundraising event in September of 21, and that's really been our key to funds year over year within the district. And our mission is really every dollar we make goes back to students and staff within Weld RE-5J. So we currently have 10 board members. I think if you want to go to the next slide. Here's who's all involved. Myself included, and the overall president. I continue to get nominated every 2 years. Our voluntold today, and Andy, and Chad, and then obviously we have and our lovely speaker Jennifer, who was out a lot of goodies to staff. And then the cool one is Austin Kendall is a part of it now. He was one of the first groups to get awarded in one of our scholarships back in 2022, that would have been on that behalf. So good group there. As we move forward to the next slide, just our big fundraiser golf tournament usually raises give or take $30,000 a year. And we really focus on the CTE pathways as the high school was being designed and the vision of the overall school board and where it was headed as well. We rolled it out. Some of you have been a part of that golf tournament. Since we started in 2021, we've raised over $160,000 just by that golf tournament. We actually have stuck away from the small business in the community here because they give so much for so many things. And we took advantage of working with different contractors, subcontractors, designers, owners reps, those type of folks that were a part of the 2020 bond. And that's really what got the golf tournament going. And every year I send it out and everybody's back every single year. So it's an easy way to get money really from outside the community because they've seen the impact of what the 2020 bond did to the students. And a lot of those companies still get back in the classroom and still provide opportunities for the overall students there. We can roll to the next slide. Other generous donations. Mr. Yost here gives us the opportunity of $5,000 a year working with the Weld Trust and being an employee over there. He gets an opportunity to give back to 503C to bless his heart. He gives it to us every year. So with that, also with Chad, his business, he has a lot of individuals that went back to the community of Memorial Fund. So we've been seeing a lot more of that come in with that as well. A generous donation family member that lives in, does she live in New York now, Andy?
She travels all over.
Okay.
I'm not sure where she is.
She's in Texas.
Is she in Texas?
She's in
Okay.
Texas now, yeah.
Yeah, and I can explain.
Go ahead.
She actually did not graduate from Roosevelt High School. She attended, but she was thrilled that her classmates always invited her to her class reunions, and so she just feels a part of the community. And so even though she doesn't live here, they donate $10,000 every year towards a scholarship fund for students, and she just loves supporting, this community. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And then we're really tapping into energy companies. When I go to a lot of different events and foundations, we have really started to figure out a way to tap into that piece. We haven't done that, but every time I go somewhere else, it's, they're giving mega bucks. So we're going to try to figure out how to capitalize that, and then also plenty of other donations as well. Next slide, please. Big thing, just give or take, since 2021, we've given over 85 scholarships to high school seniors, which equates to 126,000. So I say in counting because we just did a bunch here a couple weeks ago. We didn't start teacher grants till this will be year 3, right? Yeah. So we've given away 62,000 so far in teacher grants, and so we do the scholarships in May. Teacher grants are in the fall as well. So that's where the majority of all the money is going at this point. And there's a big long process for both, and then we get in a room and discuss who gets them for the year and who didn't make the list. But we try to do as many as possible. Just compare, there's a lot of school districts around here that don't have foundations. Weld RE-4, I just use that as a comparison because I know somebody on that foundation, but they have an executive director. And that executive over there gets paid 30% of her salary by the school district, 10% by the foundation, but she writes a bunch of the grants. So stuff that others do within the district, and Rebecca, she also does some of that work. So they're raising a bunch more that go through that foundation. So there's an opportunity where sometimes we see some money come in that we bring to the FFA. Hey, we're getting donated, we got to bring it to the foundation. Well, then you write your check. But then other schools, that's 27J, which is much larger than this district. We actually are raising more a year than they are. So we don't have any salaried staff or, bit and piece is donated time. I think the group's great. We have a lot of fun. We meet once a month, and we just stay together and make it happen. So we just wanted to give a quick update. We've never given an update to the school board to date, and just seeing if you have any questions or your vision of where we should go in the future.
Go ahead, Monica.
Yeah, thank you for all of your valuable work. What an asset it is to the community. And just a question about the scholarships. Are you all representative of the scholarship committee as well?
Yes.
So you're reviewing all the applicants?
Yep. So
is that hard, difficult?
So Jennifer collects them all. And obviously we have summers that have some graduates, right? So then they didn't vote this year. But yeah, so she collects them all. We review them, we rank them, and then we see if there's a common denominator of the top 10, top 14, top 15. And that goes into, we also have the Alumni Association as a part of that piece as well. So alumni joined the foundation 4 years ago. Go ahead.
So that's kind of how they recruited me on this. We had an alumni association started in 2003, and we offered 3 scholarships a year annually to students. When the foundation, when they were trying to recruit new students, it was really a really good thing because, but yeah, Shannon contacted me and said, hey, would you like to, and the alumni association I was down to basically me and my parents. So it's nice to get a little bit of help. And so we just basically dissolved that organization. We were a 501c3 well, and then just merged with the foundation. So that's kind of, that money, the alumni money is out there, still a memorial fund that still has some funding in that. But yeah, it actually has worked well because I feel Coach Chad's been very beneficial with that. We definitely increased, former alumni multiple funds that have been donated to the foundation, I think has definitely increased compared to what we were getting with the alumni association. So.
I wanted to just second Monica and say it's incredible, not only the time aspect of organizing it, but the monetary aspect. You guys are being proactive about it. It's amazing what you're doing for the community, and I appreciate your efforts. I'm glad you're here so you can be seen. I'm sure it's always seen you guys do.
Definitely appreciate what all of you do. I guess my question, I was curious when you talked about Missouri and their station and that they have an executive director. Yeah. I know the 5 of you and the other 5 cohorts are in a ton of time. And I wonder how much more you could do as a staff person. That was even, I guess, like Windsor's part-time. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, well, she's almost 40 hours, what I was told, but 10 of them are paid for by the foundation. We have a district. I think the big thing is having the time to do the outreach, right? Collect more money to give back. And so it's just, the golf tournament takes a lot of time to get it all, to prep it all, to get everything there, so that's one big event on that side of it. But they have, like, their board goes, do one meet, an hour meeting, and then might have small tasks, but we have to do it all, amongst ourselves.
And again, very much at what you all do. I just wonder if it's something we might want to think about helping to fund a position to expand what you all are doing. So I know that we're not going to decide anything tonight, but it might be something for us to on the radar.
Because when the executive director, she's tasked with finding a variety of grants.
Yes.
I feel like that is in itself almost a full-time job, is to hunt out and apply for grants. So that would probably be something we could really consider.
Yeah, and what I don't want to do is have you all feel like you're pushed out by an executive director. So I want you doing what you do. But I just wonder if it would expand the opportunities if we did that. So anyway, something for us to keep on the radar.
Capitalize on investment. If you think of it, we can definitely, but I know her as well. We just would want to sit down with her at some point to see ins and outs and what she does as well over multiple. We could do that at some point.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions too, is, what opportunities do we have for, and I know we've even talked about in the district, because we do have people who are writing grants for other programs, and is that the best use of their time? And would it be better if we had somebody who was kind of more dedicated to doing that? And is, so it's nice to know that there could be an opportunity here, or even just finding a part-time program director who can go out and do the outreach and generate those and get the money. So the one question, and I've bugged you about this before, Anthony.
Yep.
When are you guys going to have an online portal or create a page with Colorado Gives Day? Because that could be a huge way to get the ask out and get people to.
Yeah, we've made the bank switch in the past.
That's right. You told that. Now that you say that.
So we have a lot more opportunity to do some things. Yeah, so we can get that set up as well for the online.
Okay. Yeah, and I never realized, and Andy probably knows with his work as well, I didn't realize how powerful that Colorado Gives Day website actually is. Because it's not just a one-day deal. I've been signed up for just like monthlies on a couple of things that I'm pretty passionate about. But before I thought I could only do it once a year. You can do it every day if you want. They would love that.
Okay.
I have a question when you guys were discussing the executive director. So RE4, does the foundation's accounting run separately and books run separately than the school district? If the school district is paying 30 or 75% of her salary, it sounds like, is that running through the district accounting office, or is that separate?
I believe the district's still doing it, but it's separate books.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Because I think I'm just going to say it's fine. One of my concerns with granting is always the reportings. and I'll look at Russ and I'll be like, the reporting sides of grants can be tremendous and eat your lunch. And I want to be thoughtful when we're thinking about this, that not only would it be hiring an executive director or a grant writer to do these things, but there's a whole reporting and filing side of it that I don't think our funding department is ready to handle. And I'll just say it. So more than one head.
That's good to know.
Unless Rusty wants to work Sundays too, and I don't think the gentleman does.
I don't think we're ready to handle that.
Anyways, that doesn't negate from your work. I just want to put that curve out there because that's something that sometimes can be overlooked as like, we're very passionate about the money, but then there's a whole nother side of the reporting and the books and where do we keep it in the book and the things, right? That's just eats your lunch. It's not the money getting, it's all the like the back office tasks, if you will, of it.
Yeah, we do the taxes, we do counting, we do it all.
There's all that, yeah, all that, right?
Yeah.
There's all of that.
I mean, we're not asking for it either.
No, I know you're not.
That's where I just did a bunch of research and like to get to the next level.
Yeah.
This way you have to do. We're not asking for that.
No, and I hear you, because I think that is the next level is looking at stuff like that and pulling those back office tasks. And who's the executive director? That can feel monstrous. That doesn't negate from the current work that you guys are doing and the golf fundraiser and the hard work that each one of you goes home at night and does and thinks about. And when business meetings, you're obviously thinking about it.
On a personal, I want to say thank you because my daughter received one of those RHS alumni scholarships. So thank you. I appreciate that.
You guys, any other? Chad? All good?
I mean, apart from getting you an executive director and handling all your back end stuff, is there anything that we can do today, tangibly to help you guys?
It was September 1st, right? When is your golf tournament?
It's September 11th.
September 11th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to do our red, white, blue thing. And we're doing it at the Mad Russian. I know we have 2 courses within the district, but we're definitely on the group, and actually we just have a good time there. When TRPR took it over, which was great for us because until that point we couldn't have the golf tournament out there. And then once they took it over, we were actually the first tournament out at TRPR when they took it over out at the Mad Russian. So it's been great since right out there. It's just a great fall event and everybody has a good time. And yeah.
Can I ask a question about the golf event? Do you have something that's like for the non-golfers at this event? Like, I just want to kind of hang out and look cool.
Yeah, just ride around in carts, actually.
Yeah. If we drink beer and look cool, like, I don't think anyone wants to be golfing, but.
Yep. So you're all welcome. Yeah.
You guys could do like a ball drop or something like that.
Do we have cheerleaders and golf?
Yeah. Well, this year we're gonna
harass
do
people, something.
a wine, tequila, and whiskey bowl. And we're gonna do it after golf. You're done golfing, because then everybody's gonna want it for take it home. Not in the morning at 7:30, but 2:30 is gonna be that. So we're adding. We'd like to add something additional every year just to make a little bit extra money as well. So, yeah.
You can find us on the school district's website as well.
Yeah,
And I we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wanna thank you guys for allowing us to utilize the district website. That was a huge help for our organization, for sure.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, we just send stuff to her and then she makes it look good in 5 seconds. So.
Kate is very good at making him look beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at me. I mean, the photos she takes of me.
Well, I would add, first of all, I would just say, you know, in my 3 years, I think one of the first meetings I had that was with Anthony, reaching out and saying he'd like to, and some of that conversation for me was rich because you talked a lot about the area. We talked more about water than I thought we would in my first meeting with anybody, but it was, you welcomed me to the family. So it was awesome. And then being with the team is awesome. The passion that they all bring about our student here is really, it's super cool. It's very family centric. So thank you all for what you do, for district. It's pretty powerful.
I'm sorry, and I know I had one other thing, and the way you phrased that statement, made me think of it. And I know we have them in different buildings and they have different names, but I'll just say for the sake of something that we all understand, are you guys working with the PTAs or PTOs in the buildings at level to raise money or?
Nope.
Okay.
We are not currently. Yeah. Thank you to the staff. I have a kindergarten that graduates tomorrow, so we have a few more years to go in the district. But what a great year. So thank you all. Yeah.
We're
in denial, right? We're in denial on this whole thing.
Yep.
So, well, thanks, guys. Anything else you want to add or share? We appreciate you sitting through a longish evening to get to this spot.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I guess we gotta do this thing, don't we?
We got some graduates in a couple of days.
Yeah. So our next order of business is the approval of the high school graduating class.
Thank you.
Superintendent Wilson.
We have, according to Nate, 306
I put it on the thing. I didn't think
graduates. I just have a list up right now. So
That's he told me that last night. That
So,
about 3 o'clock.
we would ask that you approve these individuals so they can walk across the stage in 2 days.
Biggest class, right?
Yes.
Biggest class so far, but not the biggest class at the high school.
What's the biggest one? Stinking freshman.
I
got one of those.
Next 4.
All right. What does it look like after the freshman? Do we have an idea?
So, yeah, we're growing. I mean,
Is it just getting bigger after freshman?
we have a couple of lower groups in the elementary right now that we'll have to watch, but yeah, Aspen right now is, just talking to Aspen the other day, and Aspen's thinking she could be over 800 next year. So when you think about, that's 270 per grade, put that together with KQA, and you're talking about, that's 800, or that's 300 before they get to 9th grade yet, so, yeah.
Wow. Is the class responsible for all the modulars? We had to have more teaching room.
Or we were the reason for a bunch of teachers quitting.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know, I was here for those kids. I was there a lot.
I'm trying to think when we had one. I don't think that's true at PRE, at least. That modular came late.
No,
There were 650 kids in Pioneer Ridge.
I don't remember the
this
modular
class.
You don't remember it?
Not when I
It
was.
might have been,
I think that came later, but the other.
Did it come after?
maybe a year after, because I feel like Kelly.
We added full day kindergarten and that added a lot of modules.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's right.
You're not responsible for all of the
Not
problems.
all of them.
But I just know we were a lot.
You were just memorable for a
Not
few
one.
teachers.
Yes.
They were memorable.
This class leaves having accomplished a tremendous amount of positive for the district, for themselves. The number you talked about earlier, 1.2. Yeah, I mean, when Dave talked that, that's what we know. And there's lots of people that don't even talk about what their scholarships are because they share, so it's above that. It's powerful, and it's a testament to the students, but it's also a testament to what the teachers and the building and the district is on there.
I tried to get Bonner to put Wilson, our lab door, in Ben's office for senior credit. She said no. And I think it would have been much better than what happened.
I was gonna bring my dog, but then I got text from the wife saying the senior prank had to get cleaned. So.
Yeah.
Oh, never
Apparently
mind.
it was a little extra. Oh, just a little.
So we need a motion to approve this group? Anybody else that have this in your mind if I do? All right, I'm gonna move to approve the graduating class of 2026.
Oh, Monica, what else is second? Can we vote?
No, I think it's so appropriate that you guys did that. Just made me happy.
I have a motion by Vice President Sassano, second by Director Maeve to approve the 2026 graduation. Yes.
4 down, 2 down.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing Ms. Diagana.
Monica Johnson?
Yes.
Amanda Proctor?
Yes.
Lisa Sano?
Yes.
Amy Musgrave?
Yes.
Michael Webb?
Yes.
Can I say something? I know that there were some parents that submitted their pictures and baby pictures for the yearbook, and this isn't the yearbook staff's fault, it's the company that, and their kids were omitted from the yearbook. And they had their confirmations and they did all the things, it wasn't their error. And it's not on our staff, it's not on us, but I'm so sorry. I mean, I don't know how we fix that if we go through a different company, but I just really feel for those families. And on the surface, it's like, oh, it's a little thing, but it's a huge thing. It is a huge thing to have that. And I hope we can somehow correct that in the future. And I wish we could correct it now, but we can't. And so just apologizing, and I'm so sorry that happened. And I wish I could fix it. So I don't know if any of you saw any of that, but
I was so disappointed to hear that.
You know, I wasn't limited to that either. There were other things that were students.
So anyway.
Didn't make it to the final print. And
Right. Very sorry that happened.
I agree. It was hard to see the people that it affected, and
yeah, definitely.
all right, let's move on to our next item, which is the proposed financial plan for 26-27.
For real this time.
Take two. All right, good evening again, Rusty Williams, District CFO, and I want to talk about budget development tonight. And I want to start by looking at student counts, since our funding is driven by the number of students enrolled in the district. And so the chart on the left shows our history over the past 10 years, and the chart on the right shows the same information across all school districts. And as you can see, in both cases, there was a steady climb until 1920. And then COVID reared its ugly head, and there's a steep drop off. And we have recovered and then some from that drop off. We're fortunate to be experiencing pupil membership growth because the majority of Colorado school districts are seeing declines and have seen them in the past few years. Our district has grown by 12.5% over the past 5 years, while statewide enrollment has declined by 1.4% during the same time frame. So I thought it was important to look at this and kind of see what our trends have been versus the state as a whole. And so we're in a good position. Any questions about?
I have a question about the all Colorado school districts. So is this just public schools and the right graph? Why do you think there's that big drop off there after COVID? Is it because a lot of people are going to homeschooling or private schools?
Well, I think a lot of people moved out of the state in that time frame. They moved places where it was cheaper. They moved where they could work remotely because they didn't have to be in an office. And it's just gotten so expensive to live in Colorado that I think we've lost a lot of young families. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm not sure what's driving it.
I think so. I think there's some truth to some of that too, Rusty. I was telling these guys, we had a President's Cafe meeting yesterday, and say the district out loud, but they're on the southern border. And they've lost a lot of families into New Mexico and Arizona because of that, because it's cheaper. But they're a district approximately our size. They have 4,500 students. They had to let go of 35 administrators this year to make their budget work, and cut another 28 certified staff. They were able to do that through attrition, with the exception of 8 FTE, and they share the same demographer that we do, and he's telling them that the worst is still to come, and that they need to start looking at schools they want to start closing in the next coming years.
You know, what's interesting, just working at a public place, is most of our patrons that come to the library are from our school district boundaries, but we have a lot of people that visit from outlying school districts. We'll phrase it that way. One of the questions they ask, not knowing that I'm on the school board, is, well, what's your school district like here? Maybe they're coming to kind of test the waters to see if this is where they want to eventually move their family. And what's your school district like? There's so many school districts that are letting teachers go. Is your school district letting teachers go? So that's a hot topic of conversation, as it should be, just statewide. Is there is a lot of fear and uncertainty in a lot of teaching families situations right now. So even though growth proves to have its own set of problems that come with it, as we know, I mean, we're looking at closing schools and letting go of 20 to 30% of our staff. So I'll take those other problems that it creates.
I looked last night just for a comparison to see what the other neighbor districts did last year compared to FY27. And Windsor was the only other district in Weld County that's adding students. And all 3 Larimer County districts are losing students, and the same for both Boulder County districts. So we're in a pretty unique position.
We've had a lot of growth, but we've also, if you look at the controversy and a lot of the drama that's gone on in districts, people are fighting and interesting decisions, and it's not appealing to parents. I mean, Jeff Coe is a big player. If you look at some of the other districts, even Porter, they've made some decisions that parents don't like, and then they look to a district like ours that offers, you know, we have the CTE and some unique opportunities, and I think a uniqueness and a calmness that attracts parents, and it makes one stay. There's a lot of things going on in the other districts that as a parent I would not want to deal with, and I would happily take my kids out of there. But as you can see, my kids are still here. So I'm happy we have avoided those types of issues. Yes. I think we've handled conflict things very, very well. And most of that was before it's on board, so kudos to those who were here. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on why we're not crashing.
So for 26-27, we're budgeting an increase of 51 students, which we feel is a conservative number. And with the addition of the 51 students and an increase in PPR funding of $372, our revenue will increase roughly $2.1 million over last year's funding. And while I have this slide up, I want to point out that that number's changed 3 times now in the last 6 weeks since I've been here. Initial projection was that we'd get an additional $2 million, $2,043,000. And then around the 1st of May, it dropped to $2,005,000. And then the latest release on May 13th put us at the $2,088,000. And we don't expect these numbers to change now, because I think I don't know that the governor signed it, but for all intents and purposes, it's passed. This is a look at total revenue projections for the district. Here in yellow, you can see the School Finance Act components. Overall, revenues are expected to increase $2.3 million over last year's budget. And one important thing to note on this slide is the MLO revenue that's highlighted in orange up there. The district currently receives $4.5 million from this MLO. And it is set to sunset in 2030. So that's something that's got to be addressed at some point. The first chart on this slide shows the split between local revenues, which is primarily property taxes, and that represents 66% of our funding total. And then the other piece of it is the state revenues, which is primarily the state equalization, which equals 34%. And it's important to understand this because of the timing of property tax receipts, which is illustrated in the second chart. Property taxes, again, make up 2/3 of our total revenue, and yet 97% of that funding comes to us in the last 3 months of the year. Well, you can see March, and then we get most of the money in May, and then a smaller percent in June. And so that's why the district has to participate in the state's interest-free loan program, because we don't have enough cash in the bank to cover the ongoing expenses in the first part of the year. And I signed us up again today to participate. They sent an email out saying if you knew you were going to participate, go ahead and let RBC know, and that they would be getting in touch with us in the next few weeks with all the departments. Okay. Now I want to look at expenditures. General fund expenditures are expected to increase by $1.2 million in 26-27. And this is due primarily to a $1.7 million increase in salaries and benefits, and an increase in medical and property insurance of $213,000. We are projecting cost savings of roughly $700,000. So it's going to offset this increase, so the net increase would be $1.2 million. So this puts it all together. Revenues up top and then expenditures. And what I want to point out is that at this point, we're saying expenditures are going to remain flat with the exception of the increases we just looked at. And so that's why you see the increase of the $1.2 million. But I also need to point out that we're still finalizing the FTE costs, the staffing costs, because that represents roughly 82% of our total cost. So we feel like we want to get as close on that number as we can. And so Scott and Tammy and I have met with school principals and most of the department leaders at this point to review their staffing plans. Well, we're not finished with that. We're hopeful to finish early next year. So we do expect these numbers to change, but as of right now, we're expecting revenues to exceed expenditures by $284,000, which is an improvement of $1.1 million from what was budgeted for the current year. And that's all I have.
Questions?
When do we get to see a detailed budget?
As soon as I can put it together.
June 3rd is the plan. The first one will be June 3rd and approve it on the second.
There were some templates that were put together during Shelley's time here, and I'm planning on using those templates. I sent them out. I've sent out probably a half dozen of them in the last day or two. And I'm meeting with the different department managers so that we can go through their budgets. But then we've got to get them back from them and consolidate them to put together the detailed budget. And all my efforts at this point have been focused on the general fund. Still got to build the budgets for all the other funds.
Shirley's still providing support.
She's still available to do.
Kind of worried for you, for us. The timing is really tight on this. Getting detailed budget on the 3rd. Getting the detailed budget on the 3rd and then having questions and then expecting to pass it 2 weeks later feels really tight. As a board member.
And if we need to go to a separate meeting later in June, based on what we're seeing on the 3rd, we maybe don't do that. We need to pass it by the end of June, so.
Yeah.
If we need to go further, we can.
There's still a tremendous amount of work to be done. But worst case scenario, we could budget flat. We could budget what we had for this current year with the thing know about. And we'll have an opportunity in January to true that budget up. And then another opportunity in June through the amended budget process and the supplemental budget process.
And we walked into the budgeting process with all of our departments as well as buildings with flat to down. And that's how we've been operating in all of our meetings. And so we're in another year where I hadn't really no visual into that. I think we've done that work all together this year. So it's not as far-fetched as what I think Rusty way we were talking about. I think that's more possible. There's savings we have. It's really what the FDE one is looking at right now is how to land in terms of the changes we've made, the right sizing as we talked about on the front side, how that looks. But we're not hearing from departments any huge increases in places where they feel like there are some increases. They've also been able to trim out pieces that we can hold off on. So that's what I think we're working through right now.
And then when are we, I know we have an executive session on it, but when are we supposed to approve the JMEA contracts? I know that usually they're close together anyways, but not seeing anything on the budget besides like, you're doing your best. It's not a knock to you. I just feel unprepared as a board member to make a decision on a JMEA contract without having an idea of what the budget could look like or what the actuals look like today. So I think that timeline is going to be a struggle for me, and I'm just letting you know ahead of time that I think I'm going to have some struggles with that.
We certainly can talk a little bit about that in exec and try to figure out what our steps we can take to help.
All right, I'll stop talking. Sorry, I'm like dominating.
We rely on you to ask those kind of questions in this kind of conversation. I guess I think to answer my question, but I just want to make sure on the staffing piece you talked about. I realize we haven't finalized JMEA contracts, so we don't know exactly what that increase will be. So that might be part of it. But I think I heard you say that the staffing decisions have already been made for next year, for the most part. Maybe a few small changes here, but we're not talking about wholesale changes to staffing across the district this month. Okay. Yeah. That's what I heard you say. I just wanted to know that. Thank you.
Have you slept at all?
I have.
Okay.
There's a tremendous amount of work to be done, and I've been fighting the biggest fires. You have good reason to be nervous, but we will have something. We will have a budget by deadline.
Mr. Williams, I appreciate the work that you and your staff are doing, especially into it late in the game. But I was excited to see that ending fund balance number start to do this. So, any other questions? All right, we don't have any new business. Do we have any citizen comments on non-agenda items? Okay. I just want to clarify for the record that the Board of Education has issues to discuss in an executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 24-6-4024E3 for the purpose of developing strategy of the district for negotiations relating to the collective bargaining agreement between the district and Johnstown Millikan Education Association, and pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-4024E for the purpose of discussing it and determining positions concerning matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators specifically to the terms of the superintendent's employment contract. Superintendent will be present for this portion of executive session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice President Sassano, a second by Dr. Proctor to enter into executive session pursuant to the previously stated reasons. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Diagano, would you please pull the board?
Monica Johnson,
Yes.
Amanda Proctor,
Yes.
Pete Sano,
Yes.
Amy Musgrave. Yes. Mike.
Yes. And I believe for our first half, it'll be everybody here on the board, including Superintendent Nielsen, Assistant Superintendent Tammy Kramer, and CFO Rusty Williams.
We stay.
And yeah, we'll stay in here. Good night.
See you later.
Bye.
Well, yeah, don't take off.